Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Beat the Book. This is our recap of Chiefs and Ravens, which just ended, and we're giving you guys our picks for Packers Eagles going into tomorrow. This is late Thursday night when we're making this. It'll be posted early Friday morning. Matt, how did you feel about that game?
Uh, for a game standpoint, I loved it. I thought it was electric. I thought it was exciting. I mean, we almost had the Ravens come back at the end and almost
Oh
send it to
man,
overtime. I mean, they called the touchdown. Like, that was crazy. They called the touchdown a touchdown, and then Harbaugh was like, he wanted to go for two. Like, if it would
yep,
actually
he
would have
did too.
stood,
Yep,
like, then he would have gone for
yep.
two. And I told the people that I was watching the game with, I was like, I think Harbaugh is probably, like, if you were gonna bet on it, like, the odds on Harbaugh actually going for two is probably really high because you're not gonna beat Mahomes in overtime. You don't take that chance. You
See,
just try to win it. You just went down the field 90 yards in, what, a minute and a half?
right.
Yeah, so. But no, it was an electric game for the first game of the year. I mean, this is what we've been waiting for. And definitely
Came right down the
electric.
wire.
Definitely the game that we wanted to with, the AFC Champs game last year. Yeah,
Correct.
definitely one for the books.
Well, you're starting out the year off pretty hot. We pushed on our head-to-head picks because I took the under 47, you took the over 47, and landed right on 47, so that's a push. You were right on Chiefs -3. I was wrong on Ravens +3. Our parlays, different story. They both missed. Mine missed only because of Derrick Henry's weak game. Yours missed off of Derrick Henry's weak game, and then Kelsey couldn't get to his things. Rasheed Rice fully covered the 40 plus you took him for.
Yeah,
I guess Mark Andrews didn't get the touchdown either, so I guess
yeah.
you only hit one leg. I had the under 23.5 first half, which barely covered by the half point. Likely had two receptions in the first half, and then Lamar ended with 273 instead of the 225 I took him for, which is perfect.
hmm
Um, as far as touchdown scores, I mean Henry had his, and I
I
don't
mean,
even think Pacheco got
yeah,
one, right?
no, Pacheco.
Oh,
So,
Pacheco did.
so
Pacheco
Pacheco
did.
got
He
one.
got one,
Derrick Henry
and
got one. Worthy had two, and then you
Worthy had
also
two.
had
Likely get one.
yeah, likely also had one.
Which you had Pacheco and Henry on your touchdown scores you liked for the game, and
Yep.
I had likely as mine at +600, which
Yeah.
was an insane number.
hmm
So couple good
Yeah.
touchdown
Neither of us
scores that
had
hit there.
Worthy for two.
Well,
And
I mean,
then
I
I
don't
mean it
think
was
many
late in the fourth
betters
quarter
took.
too, and it was a blown
I don't
coverage.
think many.
So.
Yeah, it was a very blown coverage.
hmm
Absolutely.
So that's not something you can really plan for. And like it's the first week, so like obviously you make
Right.
parlays that you want to hit, obviously that you can see happening, but at the same time too, like you're going based off of last year's stats. And like last year, I don't think that we saw a game at all where Mark Andrews had 14 receiving yards. So
No.
definitely different than what we were thinking. But I mean, if you're going based off last year's stats, you would definitely take Mark Andrews like on one of my parlays for 25 plus yards, and that
I
happens
think
9 times out of 10.
personally the big takeaways for me from this game, both the teams are as good as we thought they were going to be. Likely is going to be a much bigger deal this year than we had expected, and Worthy seems to be pretty legit.
hmm Yeah, for sure. The kid's quick. That's to say the least. Which we knew going into it. Fastest time at the combine. Like,
Hmm.
but I did want to say one of the highlights though, because like you said on your, what about your personal bets? I know you were telling me right before we started recording that you pushed on a couple of them.
Well, so I took the under. I put a bunch of money on the under. I pushed on that, and then I put some money on Ravens +3, and I put money on Ravens money line. Both of those lost.
Okay. I wanted to let everybody at home know that obviously the picks that we make on here I do bet, but then I also bet other ones that I have too. We're gamblers over here. We bet on more than just one or two things, but we don't have enough time in a
Right.
video to tell you all the picks that we have. But I wanted to let you guys know that. So for the whole entire week, I guess not for the week, for the game, I put down about 14 units. And
Okay.
on one of my bets, I had Derrick Henry anytime. These are all just touchdown scores. I had Derrick Henry, Kelsey, Pacheco, Worthy, and Likely on one parlay. And the parlay was 1 unit, and oh gosh, I can't even do the math here of how many units it would have paid out. But I won 16 units on it because I cashed out
You
early
cashed
because
it early.
Kelsey was the only one that I was missing on that. So we got 16
Mm,
units. So for the week, I mean, we're up 2 units or for the game. So pretty
sure.
decent. I'll take the 2 units and roll that over in tomorrow night's game. But just want to let
Okay.
you guys know.
Okay.
So maybe that I need to do a 5 touchdown, parlay for my parlay of the week. I don't think we're gonna do something like that. Like this was a crazy one, but
I mean, if you would have just taken Likely by himself, you would have been up 5 units.
yeah, exactly. So doing something like that, which is what I do like doing. I like taking guys that, you're getting, plus 550, plus 500, 600, like around there. I did that quite a bit
Right.
last year with Jake Bobo for Seattle, and it paid off
Right.
quite a bit. So you just find that
Right.
one guy that's old reliable.
All right, let's jump into Packers Eagles. How you feeling about it?
Um, I have my concerns.
Okay.
Watching this game and how the game started out really electric, and then it was kind of just the
Physical.
defenses took over. Yeah, it was physical, and like we've been saying, it's still week one, so
Hmm.
anything can happen. And like you said, defense travels. You've been saying defense week one, like bet the unders.
Hmm.
I kind of like the under a lot in this. Like we know that Green Bay's going to have a powerful offense, but we'll see. It's also in a different country too, so maybe a little bit of jet
Yep.
lag or whatever. I mean, the teams have probably been there
Correct.
all week, but still, if they're smart, they've been there all week. But let's jump into it. Packers Eagles. It's technically Eagles are the home team, but
Right.
in Brazil, the Eagles are minus 2.5. Packers are plus 2.5 here over on FanDuel.
I've got 2 on DraftKings.
Okay.
So if you guys have access to multiple books out wherever you're at, you're gonna want to play that on FanDuel if it's still at 2.5 when you guys see this video because you want that extra half point if you're
hmm
gonna whichever way you're gonna bet. You would rather. Well, I guess
Well,
if you're
yeah,
taking the
exactly.
Eagles, you want the 2. If you're taking the Packers, you're gonna want the 2.5.
Yeah.
This game opened at 4, I believe.
Okay, Eagles favored, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and it's
Okay.
been bet all the way down to 2.
Okay, I know which way you're going to be leaning here because you are a Packers fan, but I
Correct.
also like the idea of the Packers picking up where they left off last year. I've said that a couple times in the previous videos that we've done. I'm leaning like really heavy to the 2.5 that I'm getting on the Packers. It's a neutral field, which I do like, and I just like the amount of young talent on the Packers is gonna be more like a vacation for a young kid. When they're on a field trip, like they're just gonna be full of energy. I think they'll get off to a hot start, so I like the Packers winning this game outright. So for
Okay,
me,
and then the over under.
I don't even like the spread. I'd put money on the money line for sure, because that's plus
You
110
take
over here.
Packers money line.
I take Packers money line just to win the game outright. I don't need 2.5 points. I don't think the Packers are gonna win by 1 point. If they win, it'll be by 3. So I don't need a plus 2.5 spread. So just give me the
Okay.
extra odds with the money line.
Okay, and then over under is set on DraftKings is 49.5.
Yep, it's 49.5 too here, and I do like the under. I'm gonna copper you. Just because like this game is pushed. Like on FanDuel, if I would have taken the over, I would have hit because it was 46.5.
Sure.
So I would have hit on the over there. But like you were saying
Yep.
on DraftKings, it was 47. So,
Right.
how about you? Where are you going
Um,
here?
I'm going to take the opposite side. I'm going to go over here.
Okay.
I think the Packers are going to pick up exactly where they left off, and I think they're going to score 30 in this game.
Okay.
And I think they're going to win it also. And if it's even close to as close as the books think it's going to be within 2 points, that puts you at 58 points.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm on the over here. Obviously, you guys take that with as much grain of salt as you need to, considering I am a Packers fan. But
Mhm.
also, I listened to a bunch of press conferences today from the Packers and some of the Eagles players that were in Brazil, and they were all saying that like the crowd should be pro Packer.
Yeah.
So
Should
it's
be.
almost like a home game for the Packers, even though it's like the books consider it an Eagles home game.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, that's my lean. I'm on the over, and I'm on the Packers plus 2.5
Okay. Cool.
or
All right.
plus 2, depending on which book you're playing.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. Cool. We doing price picks?
4-pick parlay.
No, we're doing price picks. Which one are you taking?
What's
Right. We're doing primetime games.
oh the
Head to
prime
head.
time pick head to head?
Yep.
I'm gonna go
You said
with
for this thing, I'm
the
gonna double check real quick. We're doing spread or totals, right?
spread or over under. You don't
Okay.
have to do both. You
And
just
no
have to pick
money
one
line either
prop.
because you get points. Okay. I like it.
Right. Yeah, no money line.
Okay.
It's the spread or the over under. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take the Packers at the plus 2 or plus 2.5,
Yeah.
whichever one
See,
we
I like
decide on.
that too. Um. Yeah. See, I like the spread there too, but I don't want to take the same thing as you.
I mean, we pushed on one, and
Yeah.
there's 2 more primetime games this week.
All right. Cool.
So,
I'm gonna do it too then. I like it a lot.
are we taking the 2.5 from
Yeah.
FanDuel?
We're taking the 2.5 on FanDuel. That's what we're
Okay.
doing.
All right.
Signed,
We're
sealed,
both on plus
delivered.
2.5.
Yep.
Sounds good. And guys, trust us, it's not going to be this way the entire year because there's going to be games that we vehemently disagree on.
Yes. Exactly. For
So,
sure.
okay, let's move into the 4-pick parlays. Like I said, I was one off of mine today, and it was Derrick Henry for 70 yards. He got to 40.
Mm-hmm.
46. So he was just one big run away, and he actually had a run late in the fourth, or kind of midway through the fourth, I guess, where he got tripped up. But if he hadn't been tripped up, he had like a huge hole that would have gone for probably 15. And I was with one of my other buddies, and I was like, "Oh, he almost broke that," and he just got tripped up. So, um, and we thought he was going to run 18 times. He only ran 13 times. So we were really close there. You were just a little off, Matt, but it wasn't a Mark Andrews game. I think if Mark Andrews would have had the game we thought, and if Kelsey would have had the game we thought, your play was
Yeah,
right there
it
for you.
would have been close if the tight ends were more involved, but it was more so just
So,
likely, and then the Chiefs just doing whatever they do.
all right. Well,
So,
that being said, why don't you drop us into your 4-pick parlay for this game, Matt?
all right. So I've been kind of going back and forth a little bit on this, okay?
Okay.
But this is what I'm gonna do for my 4-pick parlay. It's gonna be a little bit lower than it was last time because I want this thing to hit, okay?
Mine's
So,
also pretty low.
okay, cool. We're going. It's only a plus 489. So,
Oh, that's really freaking low. I'm not
see,
even that
yeah,
low.
exactly. That's what I thought.
489. Okay. All
Yeah,
right. Let's hear it.
so 1 unit to win 5 back. We're gonna go 2 touchdown scores here. We're gonna take both the running backs. We're taking Saquon. We're taking Josh Jacobs. We saw it happen tonight.
Saquon,
We're literally defenses do travel, but you
ATD.
stick
Okay.
with old reliable. So you go with Saquon. You go with Josh Jacobs. They're both. I think they're both minus money. Josh Jacobs might be plus money here. Let me look real quick. Yeah, but Josh Jacobs
I
plus
believe
105. Saquon's minus 125.
I got minus 110 and plus 110.
Okay. And then I'm also gonna
So
go here. I'm actually gonna change it. Actually, I like that. The lines just changed, so now it's plus 590, so it's not bad. But I'm gonna go with AJ Brown for 40 receiving yards.
AJ Brown 40 plus receiving.
Yep. I mean, it's super easy. It's minus 460. I
It's
mean,
not
it's
that many for a
it's
guy of his
AJ Brown.
caliber.
Like we could go 50, but I'm just gonna stick with 40. We're gonna try to make this thing hit like every single week. The
Okay.
4-pick parlays, they don't have to pay a lot, but we want them to hit. Then we're gonna take Jordan Love 250 passing yards.
J Love 250.
Yep, 250. 250.
For reference, tonight Mahomes threw for 291 and Lamar threw for 273
Yep. And so we're taking
in a
250.
game that was by the books not projected to be as high scoring as this game we're about to jump into.
Yep, exactly. And also Jordan Love, he likes to throw the ball a lot. We saw it last year. And last year, Eagles secondary fell apart second half of the season.
Right.
So give me that again.
Okay.
Give me Jordan Love, in Brazil on a field trip like a little kid. And, just go out there and just have fun.
I don't hate it. I
hmm
don't hate it. That's
And
actually
you're getting plus
pretty solid,
590
just
for
like
it.
your other one was.
On
The only thing
paper,
that gives me cause for pause is just the anytime touchdown scores because it's just so up in the air for somebody to score a touchdown. So
yeah.
for my four,
My
I've
only
got
thing, though, is if I'm copying you on yours, you did take the over.
I did.
So
That
if
is
you
true.
like the over, we're getting 5
Well, and
touchdowns. I'll take 2
these are
touchdown
two
scores.
guys. These are two guys that with their other teams scored touchdowns all the time.
And if you didn't trust Saquon, I wouldn't be against throwing Jalen Hurts in there as an anytime touchdown either. But
Sure, absolutely,
you get a little bit
absolutely.
better odds on that. But all
But
right, let's
even the
jump to
book has
yours.
Saquon higher than Jalen,
Yep,
so
exactly.
that tells you kind of a good lean. So for mine, I'm not taking any touchdown scores. I've got Josh Jacobs 70 plus rushing yards.
Mm,
I think they're going to run the ball quite a bit in this game. I've got Saquon for 50 plus rushing yards. I've got Romeo Dobbs for 50 plus reception yards, and then I have Romeo Dobbs for over 3.5 receptions.
okay, I like Romeo Dobbs for over the receptions. I'm not sure about the yards though. My only thing is the thing with the Packers, they have a lot of weapons, and I don't think that we
Agreed.
really know yet who's going to be the number one, who's going to be the number two.
My take is they don't want to make a number one or two. They want everybody to be viable. And Romeo is the best route runner on the team. And so if there's a third and medium, he's going to be the guy getting open. And if he just catches one, turns it upfield, breaks it into a 20 or 25 yarder, he's halfway to his number off
Yeah.
one play. And I think he's going to be the third down guy quite a bit in this game. And just honestly for the season, I think he's going to be kind of the guy. So, and I've listened to tons of interviews with the Packers and all the other receivers talk about like who helps them out and all this stuff. And it's always Romeo, Romeo, Romeo. They all say
Mhm.
this guy's just ridiculous, his work ethic, all this stuff. So I think it's going to be a breakout year for Romeo. If you guys watched the other video, I took him to be the reception leader or the touchdown leader. It was one of the two. And it was like plus 8,000. It was just a flyer. But like I think he's going to have a big year. So I see him starting off strong, starting off hot. 50 plus reception yards and 4 catches.
Okay, I don't hate it.
And mine plays out plus 900.
Okay, I like that.
So, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the touchdown scores you like for this game. If you just want to give me 3 or 4 of them,
Yeah, one
and I'll
sec.
give
Gotta
you 3 or
gotta
4 of
place
them.
my bet real quick. Boom, there we go. Got the parlay on there. Threw a unit on it.
Bada bing,
And there we go.
for sure.
All right, we're gonna jump into touchdown score props. I already touched on Saquon. I do like Saquon a lot for the same reason as tonight's game that we already watched. You know, running
So you
backs
want
are
to
just
throw
the
him in
tried
your
and true.
touchdown scores?
Yeah, so I like Saquon and Josh Jacobs. Just take them and just trust it. You know, Green Bay. Yeah,
Okay.
we know that they're gonna throw the ball a lot, but yeah. And then also I like AJ Brown a lot too. I like AJ
AJ,
Brown.
I
I
love
mean,
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown or even Devontae Smith. I'm not sure. I
Sure.
don't like Dallas Goedert as much, just because of how we saw the tight ends tonight. But
Hmm.
I mean, you got to go with the number one receivers, and that's why I'm not touching any of the Packers receivers in this game for touchdowns. Now, the one guy I will
Okay.
throw in there is Musgrave. He's your guys' tight end, correct?
Yep.
Clear, true number one. I don't mind that. So that's something that you can risk. If you want to wait till next week, I totally understand, just because of how
Are
tonight's
you
game
throwing
went.
him in as someone you're going to be laying the money on?
Yes, I'm going to be taking it. It's plus 330. I love that.
Okay.
And then there's a sneaky one here, and that would be Jahan Dotson, newly acquired by the Eagles.
So you're giving me 5.
I'm going to give you another one too. Yeah. Jahan
Sheesh.
Dotson,
How much? What's he pay out?
plus 550.
Okay. So that's
hmm
a flyer,
That's a flyer
but
right
it's
there, yeah.
5x.
hmm Yep.
Okay.
And those are my little quick touchdown scores for you.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you Romeo Dobbs for the aforementioned reasons.
hmm
I'm going to give you I also really like AJ Brown, so I'm going to splash that one as well.
Yep.
And then I'm going to give you
Who else you like here?
uh, give me the Packers defense.
You're going to go Packers defense as your flyer, I'm guessing, right? Plus
Yeah, it's plus
750.
on DraftKings it's plus 450.
Okay, yeah. So over here on FanDuel, Green Bay defense plus 750.
Okay, so you want to bet that on FanDuel if you're going to bet it. But um, I just if the pass rush is able to get to Jalen, he makes a mistake, he throws a bad ball, gets
Or
picked
tries to
off,
run
taken
and
back,
gets stripped. Yeah.
strip sack. Yep, yep.
hmm
So I don't mind laying that.
Okay.
And those are my 3. I'm not going to get as crazy as you with 5 different ones, but I like Romeo, AJ Brown, and I like Packers defense.
Okay. I also do like. I'm gonna throw one more in here just in case you guys do want to get a little risky or a little risky with it.
I
Something that's
love
probably
I
gonna
love
happen.
Saquon. I'm not gonna bet Saquon at straight money.
Yeah.
That's
No.
my thing.
I agree. I like to score 2 touchdowns, and I like Saquon plus 480.
2 plus Saquon.
And then if that's gonna happen, obviously Jalen Hurts isn't gonna score a touchdown, so I wouldn't be betting them both together. But
Correct.
But I think we could see no more tush
5
push,
to
and
1
it's
odds
literally,
almost.
or we do see tush push, but it's direct snap to Saquon, and
Okay.
then Jalen Hurts pushing him in the end zone. But yeah.
Okay.
hmm
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, those are our picks for Packers Eagles. Obviously, we will be reacting to this game and posting a video on Saturday morning with our picks for the weekend slate of games. And our that video will be a little different than this one because we're going over multiple games, not just one.
Yep.
Um, but these are our picks. Matt and I are both on Packers plus 2.5. Matt's on the under. I'm on the over. Matt's got a 4-pick parlay. I have a 4-pick parlay. That'll be at the end of the video. You'll see we'll have a layout of it, and then we have our touchdown scores.
Yep.
So,
And that's
anything
it.
else to add, Matt?
No, that's it. I guess I'll say go Pack go since I'm putting money on it, but
Come on, baby, go Pack,
hmm
go! Should be a fun game.
it
I'm
should be a
excited to
fun
watch it.
game. Let's go to Brazil.
Brazil,
Brazil. All right. Until then, until
Brazil.
next time, we'll catch you guys in the next video.